Hi, I'm Bart Hanson. I'm the owner and lead instructor for CrushLivePoker.com. The following hand comes from our call-in show that we record at 4:45 p.m. Pacific Time every Monday. If you want to call in your hand, check out the instructions in the video description.
This hand takes place when I was actually the effective stack at the table. There were people with between $4 and $7 grand
Okay.
at the table.
Yeah.
So they decided to do a bomb pot.
Mm-hmm.
And I was actually listening to one of your episodes when you were talking about bomb pots, so I remembered this hand. And it was a 25 bomb, and it was a full ring game, so 9-handed.
Just even before you tell the story, I'm going to tell you that, boy, like, I can already see this being set up where you have, like, if you could easily, when you're up against, like, guys like this that obviously have no real clue what's going on, you get yourself into situations where, like, you might have a random bottom two, like, on 9-5-6, and one of these Israeli guys is, like, putting their entire stack in, but they would do it with, like, an overpair because they're not thinking through the fact that everyone's random. So that's
right.
I can sort of, I don't know if that's how it's going to play out, but anyways, $25 each. And so
yeah, and I've been there for about an hour, so I've been playing about 30 hands so far.
So again, a bomb pot for everybody out there who doesn't know what a bomb pot is. It's usually done for time collection, but it can be done at any time. Everyone's just going to put in dead money like an ante. Everybody plays their hand. You just go to the flop. So everyone's into the flop, and the money in there is basically like an ante of $25. It makes a lot of people uncomfortable. I love it, but what position are you in, by the way, which is very important too in a bomb pot? Position's huge.
I am a hijack.
Okay.
All right, so pretty good right off the bat. Now, I did not look at my cards until after the flop, and in fact, after the action got to me. So
Okay.
Here's the way the action went. Board comes 3-7-9 rainbow.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
Check to big blind. Big blind puts in 90.
So he comes out and he bets about half the size of the pot.
Right, yeah. So
by the way, a lot of the other thing too is that people don't know size. Like I see guys come out and bet like full pot with like 8-9 here because they don't know what to do. You know what I mean? Like it's just people play bomb pots really badly. And the thing is that I think I did it either in a video. I think I did it in one of my videos where I was like, look, pull out Poker Cruncher, and you can look at Flopzilla too. If you have 8-9. Or even if you have King 9 and the board's 9-7-3 rainbow, and you're up against 8 other entirely random hands, probably King 9 actually doesn't fare to be the best hand. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like when you're up against 16 other entirely random hands. They're random. There is no range. There becomes a range after the flop, but there is no range pre-flop because everybody's random. But people don't realize that. Anyways, okay, he bets 90.
He bets 90.
Yep.
And just, by the way, sort of going in here, I'm not big on bomb pots. They're fun at times, but I just know that anyone can have A, anything, and B, people try and sort of overrepresent their hands, as you sort of say, just because they want to get the dead money. So
I haven't really encountered that much in LA, like a lot of bluffing in bomb pots, but I mean, it could be. You might have, I mean, certainly could. I mean, you certainly can do that for sure.
Remember, Israeli nation. So anyway, the guy bets 90. It's folded to middle position who calls. And then I look at my hand. I got kings. And I choose the flat.
Yeah, I mean, you're getting a price here. So, you're getting a price. Are both those guys the Israeli guys?
Oh, yeah.
They're both. Yeah, you're getting a price here. So it's 90 call. And the pot is, what is it? So it's like 300, 400. You're getting 4-1. You started with only 1,500, right? Is that right?
Yeah, exactly.
Boy, I mean, I got to tell you, like, even though I had just said the opposite, like, against these player types, and you're not really all that deep, I wonder if, like, the flat call sort of concerns me a little bit, but these guys are so bad. I wonder if I would actually just raise and get this in here against these guys, these two guys.
Right.
Because they might call with worse. Now, if you're telling me that it's like a Vegas guy that leads, like a Vegas pro leads and a Vegas guy calls, especially if it's early versus early, I might fold kings here. I mean, I might call with 4-1, but this is a special case where it's probably very close because you're telling me the player types are so bad. Obviously, I don't mind the call either here, but and if you were deeper, I would call. But there's already, once you put the call in 500 and you've got like 1,300 left, so it's sort of you really only have about a pot size bet left. Anyways, all right, so you call.
I do. Turn comes an offsuit queen. And
it's a pretty big brick.
The initial, complete brick. I mean, so in my mind, I was thinking the guy who called the initial 90, I couldn't see him having a queen in his range, still with action to come behind him. Like I couldn't see him calling with king, queen, ace, queen, those kind of hands. It just didn't make sense. I mean, he could have like queen 9, queen 7 or something, but that's about it. The initial better checks, and the middle guy bets 300.
So 3-7-9 rainbow bomb pot. So bet 90 call, and you overcall. Now the turn's a queen, and now this guy in the middle bets 300, and it's a total brick. I mean, you really. That's really strong. Like, unless he's betting like 10-8 here or like 5-6. But a lot of times, like in bomb pots, guys want to sort of see like a free card, like you called behind. It's not like you bet the flop and now you check to the guy on the turn. You're behind here too. And that smooth call in the middle sort of concerns me a bit. You would think the big line probably has a 9 here. And the other guy could have like, queen 9. He could have queen 7, something like that. Now, the pot is, so he's betting 3, 4, what was it? 3, 4, 5. He's betting 300 into 500. So if you call, the pot will be 1,100, and you'll have about 1,000 left. Is that right? In your stack?
About it. It was closer to 11, but yeah.
Okay. I would probably call here and then evaluate what this guy does on the river. You know what I mean? Like, you can make a decision what he's going to do at the end. But your hand is sort of a bluff catcher here. Like, any hand that he is betting here a lot for value is probably going to have you beat, unless somehow he has a random queen. That's the other thing, too, with some of these guys. Like, he might have ace-queen. I don't know if ace-queen's going to bet the river, though, so against these player types, I would probably right now call. And then against more straightforward players or tighter range players or more like professional players, more profit players, I might fold the flop, and I would probably fold the turn if I was ever in there because that lead and call is so strong. But against these guys, I would probably call here.
All right, so far so good. So I did call.
Yep, and then the other guy folded or what?
The other guy folded.
Okay, yep.
And the river's an interesting card. It's a queen, which I actually considered to be, of all the possible cards, a good card for me.
It should be. I mean, like I said, unless the guy somehow has... unless the guy somehow is like floating with like ace-queen here. You know what I mean? Which really shouldn't be. You said he called from MP1 and there's guys behind him and it's a bomb pot. Like, he shouldn't just have like a bare queen. Now, obviously this cuts down on his queen's full combos, right, too. But it makes it very easy for him to bet if he does have, obviously, a full house. You know what I mean? So,
right.
Yeah.
So before what happens next, he gives me a glance, and without much to do, he shoves.
He shoves?
He shoves. And, I gave it a little thought, but ultimately I've underrep my hand. But as you said, it is at this point a bluff catcher. But, like you said on the turn, even with like an ace-queen kind of a hand, like, would he be shoving the river? I didn't quite get it.
Well, let's go through some combinations work here. Okay, because I think this is where a lot of people get lost, or they don't think through a bomb pot. Okay, I don't know how light this guy is calling here. Um, we'll throw in Queen 7 at the end, but let's just say on the flop, okay, that he continues his entire range with a call with everything. And again, this might not be the case, but I just want to show you how many different types of combinations of hands beat you here. So you've got all of the sets here, right? There's 9 combos of sets. Maybe you take out one combo because the guy in the big blind must be betting with some pair usually, right? Like with a 9. So, it could be 7 combinations of sets, right? How many combos of Queen 9 are there that are offsuit basically after the river? I mean, there's 2 queens out there. There's 1 9 out there, right? So there's 6 more Queen 9 combos, right? So there's 13 Queen 9 combos. So excuse me, there's 13, 7 sets, 6 Queen 9 combos, 13. And if he called with like Queen 7 some of the time too in mid position, that's like another 6, right? So like you're looking at there's a lot of value combos here that beat you because of the fact that the hands are random, and that's where people get lost in these bomb pots. Yeah, your hand is underrepresented, sure, but what does he have? If you're getting 2-1 here, can you find 2 times as many bluffs here as combo values? Like he would need to have, or excuse me, half the amount of, can you find half the amount of combos of bluffs here of value? Can you find 8 combos of bluffs here that it'll take here if we say he's got 16 combos of value as a break-even point?
I think if I put more thought into what happened on the river, I think it would have been hard for me to find that.
I mean, he could have 10-8, right? And I guess he could have 5-6. I'm trying to see if there's anything else those are the open end. But I mean, first of all, I don't know how bad he is. He's probably not calling with 5-6. The only draw really is Jack 10 is another hand that's a gutter to an 8, obviously, that might call. And now he's open ended when the queen comes. So like even if you get, but I mean, and obviously 16 combos of those, but then you got to look at it. But it's not that easy though, because you can't give the guy all combos of those hands because like he's not going to play it like this all the time. You know what I mean? Like it's just, listen, like call or don't call. I would tend to overfold in this spot. Even the guy's crazy just because yes, he's polarized, but there are so many hands that beat you though. It's not like a regular hand. Do you know what I mean?
The thing that swayed it for me was just after playing for about an hour, this guy had a particular tempo. It's just as a live read for his betting, and he always just thought and was just very thoughtful and bet, and just even the way he put in his chips was just very consistent. And this was the one time where it just really went off, right wing, and it just seemed off. And it was just very, very quick. And I just sort of said to myself, like, if there was ever going to be a tipping point, let it be that. I did call.
Well, just before you tell me the results, so do you understand though that what do you think is a better call here? If you had ace 9 or a pocket kings?
I prefer would be honestly ace 9.
Right. So I mean, you have to start thinking about hand equivalency here too in this spot, which a lot of people they can't do. Like, are you calling here? Like, are you calling here? Let's say that you had king 9. Okay, so you overcalled the flop, and then you called the turn, and now, the same action happens on the river. Are you calling with king 9? You know, I mean, it's a better call in terms of blocking combinations of hands. But if people look at it that way, you should look at it that way. I don't know how many bluffs this guy has given this line. You know.
Right, right, and like I said, I think if I would have spent a little more time thinking about it, I may have talked myself out of it, which would definitely have been a possibility. But I agree. I'd much rather have a 9
But
here.
by the way, so the people in the chat saying that he might have ace 9 here and he might have a counterfeited 2 pair. Come on, guys.
Right.
Counterfeited 2 pair. What you think this is like? It's a bomb pot. It's Hold'em. I mean, these guys are Israeli guys, right? They're recreational players. This guy's not going to bet a counterfeit 2 pair as blockers in a bomb pot. Anyways, what ended up happening? Sounds like you called.
I did. I called, and he showed 10-8.
10-8 for a missed straight draw?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it was sort of odd that, you know, because people were saying, you know, wow, good call. I didn't at the time think of it as sort of a great call. I just thought of it as I sort of need the call here.
I got to tell you, you know what? Looking back at this, you know what's interesting, and I haven't thought about this before? With your stack size, and because hands are entirely random, meaning that, like, say, like, the mid-position guy he's going to call with all his top pairs, right? Because it's a bomb pot, and the big blind bets the flop and he calls, the more and more I like with your stack size raising the flop to get it in, because you're entirely in the dark about kickers, right? There is no information besides the board pairing on the turn, right? Do you see what I'm saying? Like there's
absolutely.
there's not, you know, it's like you can see a brick card, but I mean, unless you're just gonna fold to, you know, continuous pressure because people play, you know, tighter in bomb pots, but you know, obviously this is a huge exploit because of the players that are in the hand. And I can tell you right away that I would fold the flop against a lot of players in bomb pots. But here, you know, you might raise and happily get it in. So, anyways, it's an interesting hand. Yeah.
Yeah, just quickly. Yeah. From his standpoint, if you were playing his hand with his total range, given what I've done and just flatting the whole time, how do you feel about his play?
When you, like, call on the turn, and then on the river, the queen comes, like, I don't know. I mean, you have a lot of strong hands here, too. And if you're the type of player that's going to call down with a 9 or call down with a pair, it's probably not, that river is probably not a great bluff card, to be honest with you. But, I mean, there's some guys that don't think about that and can just be moved off of hands. So, anyways, thanks for the call. Hey guys, if you like what you've seen here, please click on the subscribe button and you'll get notified every time we put up a new video. And if you want to check out crushlivepoker.com for the first month free, use the code YTA200. Click on the link right there.